Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be making this beautiful card using these supplies from In Love Arts. I can honestly say that this paper pack is absolutely one of my favorites and it has so many possibilities. And another thing that has so many possibilities is this cutting die. You'll see the way I use it, but it would also be great for a shaker card and so much more. And this is the cutting die that's going to create the 3D pop-up on the inside of the card. And I love that it not only cuts, but it also adds the score line so that you know where to fold. And I'll also be using these cutting dies that will create the flower. As you can see, I'll be using several awesome dies from In Love Arts to make this card. Oh, and if you're ever looking for cute little wooden easels to display your cards or other creations, In Love Arts has those too. Okay, so I've chosen these 4 beautiful papers from that paper pack and this gold foil cardstock from Michaels. Now let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is use that geometric cutting die to cut the gold foil cardstock and those 4 pieces of paper. And I'm not throwing anything away because I'm going to need all of those pieces when putting this card topper together. Of course, when I'm done, I'll have enough cut out to make 5 cards, but in this video, I'm only making 1. And now I'm cutting the flower pieces from the gold foil cardstock and from a piece of leftover pink paper that has some beautiful gold going through it as well. And I also used the gold foil cardstock to cut out the 3D pop-up piece that's going to be on the inside of the card. Now this die is a little bit too long for the regular size plate, and if you don't have a longer plate for your die cutting machine, don't worry. I'm going to have a link right here on the screen to another video I made that includes a trick to make this work with a regular size cutting plate. And now that all the die cutting is done, it's time to start putting the card topper together, starting with attaching that gold outline piece to some black cardstock, and I used a spray adhesive to do that. And next I started putting a selection of pieces from the other papers into the open areas. And I used my Xyron and my Beacon 3-in-1 glue to do this, but you can use whatever works best for you. Oh, I am just loving how this is coming together. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's kind of like a mosaic piece or a stained glass window. Next, I'm putting the flowers together, and I'm starting off by using some picked raspberry distress ink to color the back of the petals just in case they show because they're white. And then after that, I used something called Smooch, which I have had for years and years, and I'm not even sure they sell it anymore. But I had some gold smooch and wanted to add a little gold around the edges of the flowers. And next, I used the spongy backside of a mouse pad and this flower shaping tool to help shape the flowers. But if you don't have one of these, you can always use something like the end of a paintbrush or the end of a Sharpie marker or anything round like that. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm not really good at giving verbal instructions on how to shape a flower. In fact, I'm not really that good at shaping flowers, but hopefully you get an idea of what I'm doing by watching me. Basically, I'm just trying to give them some dimension, and in the end, they really didn't have as much dimension as I had hoped. But on the plus side, it won't be difficult to get in an envelope. And once I get all of the pieces shaped a little, then I'm just going to layer them and glue them together with just a dot of glue in the center of each one and leaving the petals loose. And as you can see, I decided to add a rhinestone to the center of the flower. And now it's time to start folding the 3D pop-up piece for the inside of the card. And as you can see, the cutting die not only cut, but left the score lines to make it easier to fold. No matter what end you start from, you will do a valley fold and a mountain fold, a valley fold, a mountain fold, and you just keep alternating all the way across. Or you can turn it around when you're halfway through and just repeat from the opposite side. Don't be confused by the inside folds or the folds on the edges. The outer edge folds are valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold, and the center section is also valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, and valley fold. There is nothing confusing about it. And this is what it's going to look like once you have it all folded. And now it's ready to put on the inside of the card, and I'm using this black A2 size card base, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and the 3D pop-up piece fits nicely inside. And this is what it'll look like once we get it glued in. I'm using my Beacon 3-in-1 glue, and as you can see, I'm only putting the glue on that one section. And I will admit that it's a little tricky getting it glued in the card because it doesn't lay flat and keeps popping up. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but I got it done. You don't want to push it all the way in or it won't pop up correctly. So make sure that it's about a 1/2 inch from the front and back edges for the best results. And then just repeat on the other side, remembering to only put the glue in that one section and make sure that it's about a 1/2 inch from that back edge. For the inside sentiments, I used a 2-inch stitched square die, which was the perfect size as you will see, and I used Wow embossing powder to heat emboss the sentiment and the images. And then I just glued them to the inside piece that looks like a book popping open. And now it's time to add the card topper to the front of the card and add that beautiful flower and a stitch tag that I cut from gold cardstock and heat embossed with black embossing powder. And here's the finished card, and I absolutely love the way it turned out. It is so beautiful, and I love that 3D pop-up little book in the center. It really adds something special, and I love anything that's 3D and pop-up. And like I said, there are enough pieces to make 5 card toppers, and here are just a couple examples. And here's a picture of the finished card inside and out. I hope you like it as much as I do, and if you do, there will be links below in the description box to the products that I used, as well as a 25% off discount code to InLoveArts should you decide to shop there. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and here are some card making videos right here on the screen that you also might be interested in. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.